Howdy. It's Friday where I am. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. For my friends in the antipodes, it's almost Saturday. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's feeling good. Stuff like that. I notice now the vibe is that people are getting very cranky. And a lot of stupidity starting to emerge. And I think that's natural with the human condition. There are people who are hurting physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. So when that happens, one tends to have one's brain kind of stop working. No, because there's so much overload. And then what happens is we look for someone to blame, something to blame, a way out, things like that. I just hope people can kind of get their brains together and, it's a weird and unique situation that we're in. Last night, I threw an I Ching to see what this deal's about in terms of I Ching. And I got I Ching number 6. Yeah. Conflict. It's the hexagram, and which everyone is quarreling and everyone is trying to move forward, but to do that would be a mistake. And the advice of the I Ching was just to retreat and wait for things to get better. And I think it's really all we can do. I think one of the things that happens is that there's a sense of lack of control. We don't want to think about this, but no one's in control. No one's in charge. Science doesn't know what to do. Medicine doesn't know what to do. Politics doesn't know what to do. So it requires us to engage in a little bit of letting go, relaxing, and I think that's the way to go. So we're staying in this weekend, right? I know I went out the past couple of days and stocked up on my provisions so I could stay in till Sunday morning at least, so I can go out for a walk. But so be cool. My personal advice would be to everybody go out, especially in the states where it's legal, and buy yourself some really nice indica marijuana and get fucking high, dudes. Because hey, shit's happening. It's real on this level. In the world of quantum physics, we might say what's happening isn't happening. But we don't know. I think it requires us at times to admit something we don't want to admit, and I always say, I don't matter. And I think when people start feeling that way, they start freaking out. For me, makes me feel liberated to understand that. I bring up all this stuff because I'm going to read you a meandering poem. I think it's a comedy, part comedy at least. It's about the idea, I like quantum physics, but I'm mathematically stupid. I guess that's really the exact word for it. And once they start talking mathematics and that kind of stuff, I'm gone. But when they can verbalize what they're talking about, it's fun. It's a good thing. It's good for the head. It's good for us. And I always, as of late, however long always is, thought that poets should be involved in quantum physics and should be working with the quantum physicists to be able to translate into words and into poetry, the poetry of quantum physics. So I think that you'll see that I somehow will meander into quantum physics. I think the poem touches on a few things we're feeling today. I think that, be happy. Even if shit's coming, why waste the time not being happy, right? We have a long haul ahead of us. It's not going to be over in May. It's not going to be over in June. We're going to be doing this for a while. So get used to it. And I'll be around. I'll be popping in. I'll be, laying down some poems for you and talking my usual crazy bullshit. And I hope everybody is doing well. And if anybody is freaking out and stuff like that, and you want to message me, and we can talk and stuff. I don't want to talk politics, but I'll talk about all kinds of other stuff, as this poem will delineate, as they say. I get up at 6 o'clock this morning, incidentally, so if I seem more spacey than usual, that might be one of the reasons. Also, got my medicine in me this morning, so we're doing good. So the poem is called I Don't Matter, and a funny story is I just submitted this poem to this magazine that is edited, as far as I could see, by 18-year-olds, and nothing wrong with that. God bless them. So I'm curious to see how they'll react, because how it goes there with people reacting about poetry, especially my stuff. It would be encouraging to think that the 18-year-olds of the world could get into what I'm talking about, what we're talking about. So, excuse me, I got a stiff neck. The poem is called I Don't Matter. But it's been 18 months since I've had a job, and am financially fucked is more codicil than fact. It's all bullshit. Not some kind of nihilism, because like atheism, both leave us trousers unbuttoned after our wonderful buffet until tomorrow when the hunger returns. I'm not soliciting allies and chums. It's either too early or too late. Perhaps maybe Lucretius. This is how it is. The best thing Trungpa ever said, it's all a big misunderstanding. It can't be figured out. This is not some amuse bouche for the tenured, patched elbow crowd. Ours is yes and no, is and is, neither or both. To the most ludicrous questions, does God exist? Does an afterlife exist? Nobody fucking knows. I don't, and neither do you. Buddha said, figure it out for yourself that you can't. We're already enlightened, awake. But it's not like in the catalog. I know I don't matter because I hear birdsong and see flowers where birth is murder. There should have been on the 8th day of creation. We sat down and we thought it through. Well, there was still an Eden, whether or not it exists. Yes and no, is and isn't, neither or both. Andrei Nikolaevich Kolmogorov's gobbledygook. Quantum physics, being the science of possibilities, ensures us that it is all bullshit, possibly. At some point in a conversation with someone someplace, I said, poets have abdicated their role in quantum physics. I know it would be a weird day in Zern or Zen when a poet is introduced to the research team as our newest member, and among the tasks will be explaining to the bus driver that she is in 2 or more places at one time, popping in and out of what we think is existence, or he is driving his bus in a millions of universes at the same time, risking getting kicked in the ass and off the bus right before adding, it's all bullshit, and I don't matter. So, yeah, that's the deal. You know, we're going to do what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna go watch Perry Mason. Hope everybody else has a good day, and as I say, evildoers beware.